impact we have made in governance. So we'll make sure that we'll continue to do that. Focus on the ball. What we ask from everyone, please pray for us. Secondly, also advise your husbands. Let them continue to stand on the path of truth.
Okay, did you guys say that? Secondly, advise your husbands.
What we ask from everyone, please pray for us. Secondly, also advise your husbands. Let them continue to stand on the path of truth. It doesn't matter who asks God today. Nothing lasts forever. Today, you're the IG. Tomorrow, you won't be there.
Did you guys say that? So he's impressing upon the wives of these officers to be professional. So here's my question, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Can the spouses really, the wives and husbands of these men and women in the Nigerian police force, right? Can they really bring about positive change? Because the man who, with his rifle, extort 100 naira, 200 naira from all the tricycles, all the buses, and then actively, in fact, there's a case going on in Edo State now that I've been, privy to follow, of police who stopped a group of boys and extorted money from them, close to millions of naira. Don't forget, that also happened here in Port Harcourt earlier in the year. It was one of the stories that we were following. These men, do you think, as they stand on the road extorting money, do you think these same men who, when you get to the police station, tell you that to fill your report, to the paper that they brought out, to write, so you can write your statement, your report, that they stole your chicken in your compound, it will cost you 2,000 naira. Meanwhile, a piece of paper is like 100 naira, but they tell you it's 2,000 naira. Do you think that man or those men, or the DPOs, or the IGs, or the AIGs, or the CPs, because let's be honest, there's been so many controversial stories about highly placed officers who have had their hands not dipped in corruption, but soiled, oiled, moisturized, bathed, soaked in corruption. Is it these wives that can help convince their husband to change? Do you think it's possible? Because I shared a story I think it was 2 years ago, of someone who I met, a young lady. And, when she opened up to me that, look, when people talk and you're trying to get to know people, she lost a relationship when the man she was dating was insistent on her telling him, where your papa? What does he do? I would like to come home and visit you. I'm serious about you. And then she said, okay, this is my house. Come and visit me. Blah, 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 blah. Where no worry. He comes to worry. And then on the day he's come, he said, hey, okay, so what do I bring for your dad? What does your daddy do? She now said, my dad is a retired police officer. Ladies and gentlemen, the relationship ended on that spot. That day. Now that relationship scattered. That day. The guy said, yes, my father is a retired police officer. He just retired. Your papa work for police? Say yes. As what? He finished as so and so. Ladies and gentlemen, the relationship ended. Is it the women, really? Now, I think I understand where the governor is speaking from. There's a lot of influence the spouses have over each other. But in this case, could we assume that maybe the reason why some of these men are extorting money is because, please don't hold me, don't drag me? It's possible that their wives are bad.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
With Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
017-923-0002, 0817923-0003, 0817923-0002, 0817923-0003. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. At Nigeriainfo PH at Nigeriainfo. PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. Can spouses of corrupt officials bring about positive change? Can they? Can the wives of bad policemen, corrupt policemen, bring about positive change? Can they tell their husband, honey, I've been hearing that you're on the road collecting 100 naira. Tamna Priya saw you. Her friends told her, like, we saw your daddy collecting 100 naira on the road. My husband is not good. You need to stop this thing. And they also make me a child lady in church. You cannot be collecting this thing, collecting a gunje on the road. Is that possible? Do you think these spouses have that kind of power? I like to believe on paper they do. But these people have been collecting billions of naira. I said billions, I didn't say millions. I said, please, listen, I said they've been collecting billions of naira over the years. Why didn't their wives stop them or encourage them to stop? Or are their wives bad? I don't know. 017-923-0002, 017-923-0007. WhatsApp 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. We can also take WhatsApp calls. By the way, we encourage you to do that if you can. Make WhatsApp calls, and I look forward to having you join me in this conversation. All right, at Nigeriainfo PH. At Nigeriainfo PH is where you'll find us on Facebook and on X. At Nigeriainfo PH. At Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. Now, Oko Nnamdi on Facebook says, yes, only if their minds are free. That's the spouses can actually bring positive change by telling their husbands or their wives, honey, stop doing this thing is wrong. If they have good minds. That's what Oko Nnamdi says. All right. This says, good morning. Are you talking about the wives of police officers who themselves encourage crime and criminality when they bring cases to their husbands and help change and even forge documents? Are you talking about the same wives, Jude? Brother Calvin, I was not there with you when you saw that they were changing things. Please, if you have proof, please send to me. Because as it is now, all I can say is that you just made an allegation. Yes, it's a general statement. It's an allegation. Were you there? How did you know that the wives of some of these officials, these policemen, have also aided and abetted crime? How? Did you see them? It's an allegation. But the ones that we know, that Nigerians cannot deny, and even they themselves, the police, cannot deny, is that some of their men are on the roads extorting money. Many of them are married. So why can't, or is it that the wife, I don't know, we're not in their marriages or their relationship. So isn't that the wives don't know that their husbands are actively extorting children? You know that phrase? Like stealing candy from a baby. Yes. 90.3, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, please.
How are you doing today?
Very well, welcome.
Okay.
Go on, please.
I'm telling the wife of the man making an impact on her husband. No doubt. Let me relate what I heard one day from the House of Rest. One of the honorable members was speaking to the speaker, and he said, Mr. Speaker, they were giving women some positions in the government. Okay? So he said, Mr. Speaker, you know how women control us from home, and they all laugh. Not much more giving them some higher position. What I'm trying to say, no doubt. Their wife has impact, and the women have impact. They can actually
to change.
But the question is, will they listen to them? If the husband are the one on the road, are the one looking the same thing, knowing how to bring that money their wife. So they will tell them, this is how I bring money to you, not depending on the salary. So now I would say they have just little influence on their husband on relationship. So they have the embarrassment of the room. I saw it today. When they just see, that I'm not the support of all this dressing anyhow, I do tell them, avoid this things that the police will not embarrass you. When they see a little fashion and look inside and they see a young guy, they will stop you. Even if your papers are complete, they will want to say, and make sure they export money for you. This is my president, they collect 40,000 naira from just because he covered, this a little light. They just covered the plate number. He was posting different laws that was not in the constitution.
Yeah, but you're not meant to cover your plate number though. It's actually there. Nobody's allowed to cover their plate number.
So he didn't cover it like it was visible, but not just light transparent paper.
Okay.
So, something like that.
Like a protector.
Yeah.
I see.
So just that they just have little impact on their own. Thank you very much.
They have little impact. Little impact. Interesting. Only little? Good morning. Many of these men or spouses don't even listen to their partners. They are all struggling to find what they'll eat for that day. So wherever the money comes from, they turn a blind eye. You will not tell a woman how to talk to her husband. You will not tell a woman how to talk to their husband. But we cannot deny, or can we, that what Fubara said, I was talking about Governor Fubara, there is some sense in it, right? There is. They live with this man. These men come home and unburden, share with their wives. Shouldn't the wife also help to make sure positive change comes through her husband or wife? I don't know. Hello, Potaka returns.
Nigeriainfo. Right
to bumper. Now, speaking about bumper to bumper, a very interesting comment, made by the governor of Rivers State, talking about Siminalayi Fubara. Hey, wives, power women, that's POWA, Police Officer Wives Association. You should know them. Every Nigerian should know them. They have bosses and stuff everywhere. Anyway, so they visited him and he advised. He said, look, you know what? Don't take my word for it. Let's hear from the governor.
And give to the women in any further projects, don't hesitate to get around. You've been a very wonderful officer.
Oh, sorry. Apologies.
We'll continue to do the best we can for people. At the end of the day, what people want to see is the mark we have made. It is not the level of distraction that we have been faced or confronting us. It is the impact we have made in governance. So we'll make sure that we continue to do that. Focus on the ball. What we ask from everyone, please pray for us. Secondly, also advise your husbands. Let them continue to stand on the path of truth. It doesn't matter who asks God today. Nothing lasts forever. Today, you're the IG. Tomorrow, you won't be there.
So you heard, please pray for us, and also tell your husbands to do the right thing, to act professionally. Is that influence good enough? Because if it is, I don't know. Once again, nobody should drag me. I'm always saying, right, in logic, where if this comment is true and that one is true, if we bring them together, they might both be true, or they could also be false. So I'm only trying to apply logic. So here it is. If the men, some of the police officers who are on the road extorting Nigerians, some of them who have become daredevils, jumping into people's compounds, at 1 a.m. in the morning in the name of trying to find out the criminal gangs who are cyber stalking and, who are cyber extorting themselves. And also those of you who have paid policemen. That man, he slapped me. You give him 20,000 naira. Go and arrest him. Not phrase Nigeria. I will get you arrested. You pay a policeman to arrest somebody. If I'm not mistaken, that's a crime. But hey, I don't know anything. Those people who do those things, is it not possible that their wives could have helped us, saved us billions of naira by encouraging and getting, how somebody said, our wives control us. It's not possible. Why hasn't that happened? Or are the wives themselves bad? Yeah. I don't know. Let me read this comment. We'll go for the headline news. Amadi Okore says, Jude, have you forgotten that Eve gave Adam forbidden fruits in the Garden of Eden? So it is only by means of miracle that the police wives can change their husband's desire for bribery and extortion. Yeah. So only a miracle. The assertions you all make. Hello, Potaka returns. Headline news. your messages on WhatsApp, and as we also do on the show Facebook as well. All right, at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook, and on X at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH. Question: can the spouses of corrupt officials bring about positive change? Can the wives and husbands of a corrupt CP, of the DPO in your various areas, of the sergeant who's in charge of a group of people, can our wives, help them, help us to help them to stop extorting, to stop exploiting, to exploit, I beg your pardon, to stop manhandling, to stop human rights violations? Is that possible? And if it is, why haven't they been doing it? I'm curious. Was it yesterday? No, on Saturday, I took a bus from Civic Center along Ikwere Road. That's close to Ajip flyover, right? After Ajip, there's a place called Civic Center. Those of you that don't know it takes you to Tombia Extension in GRA. Now, I took a bus from there, headed towards Rumukuta. Now, in the bus, right, we got to Iwofe. And then as we got to Ife, because the road, traditionally people stop there and get on buses. We got there, then a female officer, just jumped into the bus. And the driver and the conductor started begging the woman, mama, why they do this thing now? Now night, it was about 6:30. I even waiting and say, no, the woman replied, now they say I couldn't stay, now front. Say, mama. The driver told the guy, please give her money. Guess how much was given? 100 naira. All of us in the bus, I turned personally, and I was looking at the woman dead in the face. 100 naira. Now, it's a case of two people doing wrong. But I'm curious. That woman may have a husband and children. Can the husband tell the wife, honey, as you go out today, no collect bribe? Bob is in Imbiama. Bob, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Welcome, please.
In this transition, the government is almost 90% correct. Because prices of the women are given such power to control their husband right from creation. The influence on the wife, on husband, could go a long way to be used to if women know the power they have and use it actively. And I hear from the woman also who says a woman has almost 7 powers to tell on the one she wants to use. You see, because some of the police, apart from the ones who enter police or enter uniform work, who are crime-minded, some of them are doing such because of influence of the life back home.
Okay.
You now, as a man, if all you need now, your salary, just pick food, buy clothes, or whatever, your salary, if you hook up yourself with a wrong woman, like Jezebel.
Like Jezebel. Wow.
I'm telling you, like Jezebel is to have. You will see yourself doing what you don't bargain for. Because the woman will manipulate you, the woman will admire you, the woman will do everything possible to make sure it be satisfied her quest. And I think if people quest and unsatisfied appetite for things that you can't even, if the woman wants to achieve something, she wants to get more and more and more. If it's shoot, she wants to get more and more and more. So you don't care how do you get this money. Many of the policemen are doing what they are doing because they
their wives
at home. And even someone has to turn away from God because the careful of the woman you take yourself because they will turn your heart. They will use their power that God gives to them emotionally to turn you and blackmail you to go into okay.
Do you guys hear that? That the women will use their power to turn your heart. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Stimulate quality and insightful conversations. Hello, Port Harcourt. 92.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Muriel is on the line and Zion is standing by. Muriel, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Muriel.
I think the husband can wife do right. When the can put his friends and husband do right. Because the husband can do whatever he wants. At least like the woman has the choice. It depends on what the very high percentage. The woman cannot influence her spouse. Unless the husband says to you, then say, when you go to the man will ask, the one will tell me
what to do.
That's present reality. It says if it just says man, it's not a of money. It's feeding you. But the way of objective between the wife, it just stop this. And it won't be this. Another person said that this is not money. And then this is the other one. This is what they want to do. That is the case. Nigeria say, oh, you got to live there and not even for wife to influence her spouse to support the workplace. She cannot. So the man is conscious, and even later on, maybe it's more, but mostly it's conscious. If he wants to, he will. To do that. Thank you.
Or if he wants to, he will. If he wants to change, he will change. Zion, do you agree with that? That the women have that kind of power?
Yes. You have to narrow down to the family. If every family member are reporting the criminals in their houses, there will not be a crime. I had a philosophy that the best way to sweep the community, everybody should sweep their frontage. If you clean your frontage, that brings you the community for us. The Nigerian policeman you saw committing a crime is submitting that crime because of his wife and his children. Rather put to POS is doing it because of his family. Because the Nigerian economy has structured him to be a criminal. How much is his salary? 50,000 or 70,000.
That's still more than some people's salary, and they're not extorting people.
The general overview now. We are not true to this country. So this one, on this kind of topic, I will say my wife and my mother. So know that these two people are my shareholders. If I talk too much now, they will do this, or you talk too much. My wife and my mother, I will tone it down. My wife, after we call my wife, she dey hear am. My mother, we call my mother, she dey hear. You know that these two people who call me Mr. Zion, there is a topic we want to hear your opinion. These two people shape me to minimize time. In fact, let me be honest with you. They won't let me know people down and they make me talk too long for radio. Because you are engaging me.
No verse. We'll try our best.
Now look at it. Look at the family front now. How many callers are their mothers are listening to them? Their wives are listening to them. This thing you are saying, where did you get this information from? So my mother does. That's why whatever make any comment, my brother do a proper research. So every family member can look into their inward immediate family. Government, that kidnapping way happen. Come and see my husband do am here. That policeman way kills that boy for elimination and my husband, he tell me, I have business, you arrest him. Should we be struggling with crime? But because we are benefiting from the proceed of crime, everybody's quiet.
Everybody's quiet.
Nobody talk. It's Zion.
Okay. All right. Seems to there's some credence there. Now, this is from Anonymous. Okay, I think I can. Yes, it's long, but I have the time to read it. All right. Once again, send your message. You can also call the WhatsApp number. On WhatsApp call, don't make a GSM call. A WhatsApp call to 0809 030 6416 0809 030 6416. All right. 0809 030 6416. Now, there is a reported interview of Donald Duke, the former governor of Cross River State, who said his wife saw how harshly he spoke to a member of staff who had made a mistake, and she refused to let him sleep. As in, he said he had to apologize to the guy the next day, but she told him that the way he spoke wouldn't let the man sleep that night, so he too shouldn't sleep. And truly, Donald and his wife, went that night to that man's house. He said the man was afraid. He believed that Donald was still angry and had come to fire him. So he was shocked to learn otherwise. What I have learned is that no man can stay for long with a woman who is not exactly like him. So if a woman knows her husband has been stealing, kidnapping, or evil for long, and she did nothing to stop him, it's because she's exactly like him or even worse. So it will take something very serious for her to flip the script they are both working with and prevail on him to act like he underwent a character transplant. Hey, this is a lovely story to share. Thank you very much. So the woman can actually impress upon her husband, honey, this thing that you are doing, or like they've been told to do now, say my lord, greet your husband my lord, or Obim. Is it Obim? Okay. Obim, this thing is not good, oh. Let us go and stop doing this thing. Oh. Let's do something else. So the reason, or one of the reasons why your politicians, your governors have been stealing money is because their wives supported it. Eze Ken from Ubuni, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I hear a lot of one pastor saying that says that women have language power over the men. I think with the advice of the governor, I feel that it's for the top officers and not the officers on the road.
On the road.
Yes. Because when the top ones ask the younger or the junior officers, they will stop what they are doing downstairs. They ask me, the advice of the officers will reduce the corruption of several uncertainties that is happening within the agency. Thank you very much.
It's Ken from Ubumini. Thank you. A pleasure to have had you join the conversation. Now, Asatilko A says, greetings, Jude. So we have been conquered to the extent of now begging wives of corrupt officials, help us do the job of another agency. How and why will such a woman do herself such disservice? Who will pay her bills and that of the children? They have the power, but their hands are tied and as such can do nothing. Let our established agencies for this purpose do their job and let the women breathe. They are cup tied. That's interesting. So we are now begging the wives of corrupt people to help us bring change. That's a question I ask. Interesting view. Asatiko, thank you very much. That's a fantastic angle for us to look at this conversation. Hello, Jude. The story just shared came from Donald Duke, former governor of Cross River State. I've read the story before, and oh, really? Oh, so that means there is some credence to this. Okay. Okay. I guess he and his wife have a very good partnership, a very good relationship. 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. All right, that's where you find us on WhatsApp and Telegram. You can also make WhatsApp calls, all right, to that number, and I would love to engage with you. All right, thank you very much. Now, any woman who truly has no influence on her husband, I'm not sure what kind of union they have. Everything is not due to juju, gra-gra, or bedroom politics. My husband is not in the police force, and his work is totally legal. But there are some things he doesn't tell me because he knows or suspects what I'll say. Like there was something I found that I thought was too dangerous for him to be involved in. I asked him why he didn't tell me. He said, because you have told me not to do it, and I cannot say no to you. This is a man that is very respected in his field and among his kinsmen, and rightly so. But he recognizes and acknowledges that if I don't want him to do something, he can't do it. How many of you have that kind of relationship with your partners? Really? How many? Your wife or your husband says, look, this thing that you want to do, it doesn't bode well. Let's get a second opinion. Or let's not do it at all. How many of you have that kind of relationship? That you trust the feedback you get from your partner. You trust their intuition. You trust their knowledge. I'm pretty impressed by some of the things I'm reading now this morning. Good morning. I put it to you that many of the wives, if not all of these officers' wives, know that their husbands are corrupt. They know that their husbands are into shady deals. They know that their husbands have been bought and pocketed by these politicians. What Fubara is doing is just trying to appeal to their conscience and their bedroom issues. It will not work until the women decide to do what is right. But it's not just these police officers' wives. It's every woman. Most women know exactly what their husbands are doing when they are doing it. And the only reason why they support it is because they collect the proceeds from them. Interesting, Kelvin. Thank you very much for your comments. It does make sense. We've had enough time, 3+ decades. And maybe for this conversation, let me say this. It will be very unfair to make a general statement that, all the police officers' wives, are complicit in the fact that they know and they are not doing anything about it by encouraging their husband to do the right thing. We don't know their relationships. We don't know every single person. But there is a possibility, as there is with almost everything, that some of these wives have told their husbands, my husband, this thing, stop doing it. This thing, don't do it. If you do it, it's going to affect us. It's going to affect the children, yada, 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 blah, 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 black sheep. Right? It's very possible. And it's also possible that a good number of them have accepted it. They're living with it. They have taken it that this is the scenario we'll find ourselves. And this is the only way we can push forward. So when they see... Let me say this. So, I don't know how many of them have actually seen their husband, seen their wives, seen their fathers or mothers collect bribe or extort people on the streets in Port Harcourt and in Nigeria. I don't know if they have seen. And if they have, I truly wonder how they feel. Truly wonder. Your Odogu collects bribe. Your husband, a governor, is not. Speaking of state governors, I was once at a meeting, a parley of sorts, and then one of the participants was saying that, they called the wife of the then governor, this was some years ago, and they told her, tell your husband that they have not paid the gratuities of so and so people. And the woman said, I have told him, my friends have called me, people call me to report that on radio, in the newspaper, they read that he has signed, but apparently whatever he has signed has not been effected. They kept saying, tell your husband to get somebody to come and do audit, that he should come himself and see that we have not been paid. And the woman, the governor's wife, kept saying, I have told him. Yet the money still did not come. That just came to my head just now. Anyway, thank you all for joining us in this conversation. How powerful are the wives and partners, spouses of corrupt officials? Hopefully some of them are listening to us now. Maybe a crisis of faith is, or conscience rather, has been instigated. Who knows? Do stay well. News coming up your way noon today, and after that, the sunny side of conversations. Stay well. I have plans. I have already gotten my new copy of Plantain. It's not too ripe, but it will serve the purpose for today. Have yourself a good day. Morning.